Welcome back to Performance TV. On this segment, we're going to convert our Corvette over from a water and antifreeze-based coolant system to the Evans waterless coolant system. What exactly is waterless coolant? Well, while I continue to drain the radiator in the block, let's check in with Kathy and learn more.
Well, Tommy, unlike with my top dragster where I'm not running anything for a coolant or any water, Mike joining us from Evans Waterless, this is actually a liquid we're going to put in even though it's waterless.
Correct. A lot of people think waterless means liquidless, when in fact it is a liquid, as you can see.
That looks like our apple juices.
It does, but don't mistake it for apple
No.
juice. The big difference with Evans is that it has a boiling point of 375 degrees. That's about 100 degrees or more higher than a water-based coolant.
Absolutely.
And what that means is it won't turn to vapor, and it won't build pressure. So you will never have a vapor barrier between the liquid and the metal. That's important because you always maintain liquid to metal contact, maintaining good heat transfer, especially at the higher temperatures where it matters the most. The other important aspect of Evans is it avoids corrosion, it avoids electrolysis, keeping your metal temperatures under control, and protecting your metals for the life of the engine.
Well, I see that we need to start off with a prep fluid first before we get into installing the actual product, and it looks like Tommy's just about ready for that.
Good, great.
I've got all the water and antifreeze drained out of the radiator and the engine, and now I'm ready to put in the Evans waterless coolant. Mike, have you got me some coolant? Let's put this in here.
Well, actually, Tommy, not quite ready to do that yet, because gravity only does so much. We've got to force out the remaining coolant with high volume air. We blow it through the radiator, through the thermostat hose back into the radiator, and through the block to force remaining coolant through the system.
It's probably in the little cavities and the areas that wouldn't drain out of there.
A lot of residual coolant resides in all those areas. And remember, Evans is a waterless coolant. We want to keep it that way. So it's important to do a thorough job when you're removing all the coolant from the system.
Right. How much water can be in there?
You want your conversion to be under 3% in the end.
All right, so it's going to take a little blowing, get it all out of the cavities.
Take a little blowing, yeah.
Make sure it's all out of there.
Exactly.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Mike, we've blown out of our system, got it all out of everywhere, all the cavities. Now are we ready to put it in?
Not yet. Still one more thing to do. We've got to add some Evans prep fluid to make sure we flush out all the remaining coolant. There's still a little bit that resides in there, so we want to make sure we can flush it out with this. This will absorb the water, flush out any loose particles, corrosion, and so on.
Kind of clean and drying at the same time.
Exactly. So what we want to do is fill the system with prep fluid, then run it through for about 10 or 15 minutes with the heat on to make sure it gets through the entire cooling system and mixes and enables it to absorb all the remaining coolant.
All right, we'll pour it in there. Let's get busy. I'm anxious. I want to see how this works, but it's a neat little funnel you got there. I like it.
Yeah.
You pour any angle, whatever you want. So once we get this in, we'll fire it up, run it, get it all out of there. Then we'll drain the prep fluid after that.
You're right. You want to drain the prep fluid out, but also the prep fluid is compatible with the coolant, so any residual prep fluid that remains.
Right, we won't have to blow it out again. Once we do that, we'll just drain it out and then we're good to go.
Yeah, you want to blow out a little bit just to make sure you don't have a higher amount of prep fluid than you need to.
We put our prep in, we ran our engine for about 10 minutes, we drained it out, and Mike, there's some pretty graphic results.
Yes, you can see how important it is to use the prep fluid and how important it is to do a thorough job of blowing out. This is what the prep fluid looked like going in the system, and this is what it looked like coming out.
Yeah, so we flushed it all out, got it all cleaned out, and you can see we got some stuff out of there.
Well, there's always more coolant left in there than you think, and so it's really important to do a thorough job. Take your time, get the coolant out. There's always residual coolant in there. Again, you use the prep fluid, you flush out what's there, and you'll get rid of most of that water.
Okay, now, are we ready to put the Evans waterless coolant in?
Now we are.
All right, I'm ready. Let's dump this in. And it's a process, but it's going to pay off in the end, right?
You're right. You do this once, you never have to do it again. And you never have to worry about topping off because Evans won't evaporate because it's not going to reach its boiling point.
Once we get this all in, we'll test it then, see what the water content was, but I can't wait to get this in all my vehicles. Hey, stay tuned. We got more Performance TV after this.